Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming out to really what is becoming a continuation every year where we as local law enforcement administrators and entities conduct a joint operation to help reduce any type of hazards to the public as a byproduct of what occurs with this wheels up, guns down movement. Every single year during the MLK holiday, residents throughout this county and this country go amongst recognizing and honor Dr. Martin Luther King's contributions to civil rights movements, equality, and justice. Most of those activities are done in compliance with the law. However, we have a small group of individuals who have taken it upon themselves that they will ride ATVs and dirt bikes recklessly amongst our community, jeopardize the public safety, and violate a multitude of laws in the name of Dr. Martin Luther King. Today, we're here to tell the community once again that we are here, that we will be conducting a zero tolerance operation as this event is non-sanctioned, it's illegal, and it's a threat to the public safety.
This will be as the sheriff mentioned, this is a joint operation between all the agencies, local law enforcement agencies in Broward County and the Broward Sheriff's Office, as well as Miami-Dade County and the Highway Patrol troop that's down in Miami. Really, we do this every year, so I think I just have two messages. One is to the general public. If you run into these groups and you're surrounded by 40, 50, 150 bikes, so please know that we are there. We have multiple aircraft. Highway Patrol has multiple aircraft in the air, as well as the Sheriff's Office. We know where these groups are. We're going to handle it. Please do not take matters into your own hand. Do not engage with these folks. Like the sheriff mentioned, some have been caught with guns in their possession. They're just not a good group. Let law enforcement do its job. Don't get out of your vehicle and don't confront them. To the riders, every year we say the same thing. We put out the same message about these illegal activities and some of the fines and that they're going to be subject to arrest. But unfortunately, they just don't listen. So I want to be clear. There is no warnings going to be given when we engage you. When we stop you, when we finally get you, you are going to go to jail. We are going to take your bike. You are going to get citations, and they're pretty expensive traffic citations, but it's going to cost you a lot. You're not allowed to block the intersections and the highways. It is against the law. And the bottom line is, we have no other choice. This is your warning. What we're doing today is your warning. That's it. Come Monday, come this weekend, when we encounter the groups of bikes, we're going to do our job. We're going to enforce the law. The Highway Patrol, the Broward Sheriff's Office, Miami-Dade Police Department, as well as all the local agencies have all come together, and we're all on the same program.
Good morning. Anthony Rosa. I'm the president of the Broward County Chiefs of Police Association. And the association wants to encourage everybody to celebrate the day in a safe and responsible manner. But for those that intend on using our county roadways in a reckless or illegal way, the message we want to send out is that the combined efforts of all Broward law enforcement will be out there, we will be watching, and we will hold those people that commit illegal activity accountable. You will go to jail, and as was stated before by the sheriff, there will be no warnings.
Well, to the first part of your question, yes, we have been tracking social media aspects and looking at some of the projections in terms of participation. We may see some more individuals participating this year, but we're prepared. We have enough manpower and dedicated resources to handle any volume that's going to be participating in this, and we'll continue to track and see what's going to occur in terms of if the numbers are going down, if the site locations are changing. To the second aspect, we can't afford to dismiss this type of activity, meaning because it's happening every year, we're not taking an aggressive stance towards it. One of the conversations I've already had with the men and women behind me is something that I'm going to push this year with our legislative session coming up pretty soon, is we want more strength in some of the legislative aspects. We want this to be more punitive. These events put so many different of our residents and visitors in harm's way. We wouldn't allow for any large gathering to dominate and take over a holiday or an event, whereas individuals are crossing the street with their babies people are driving and trying to get to and from work and being cut off and slamming on brakes and getting in car accidents. We can't wait to start seeing the loss of life, to start taking this a little bit more seriously. And so as I have a lobbying team here that will participate in pushing different agendas and things that we find essential for public safety, this will most certainly be one coming up this year. Well, we're not aware of any repeat offenders at this time, but you make a very good point about some of the concerns I have in terms of what I'm going to be pushing up to Tallahassee. If we have repeat offenders who we've arrested over the last 4 or 5 years and they continue to show up, there should be much more stricter and harsher punitive elements for these individuals, because apparently they have not yielded to the warnings. The arrests are not having an impact, nor is the confiscating and taking ATVs. And so if we do have repeat offenders, it's showing that there is continued recklessness, a continued disregard for the laws. And so we're going to have to start taking this thing much more serious. If we're any type of tips or information that's coming in, whether it be videos, can go through our threat management division, working with our investigators, because unfortunately you don't know what is going to lead into something much more egregious. For example, maybe an individual captures some traffic violations, and then later on this individual, maybe carrying a gun, is involved in a greater crime. So yes, we'll collect any type of evidence or documentation that people are going to submit to us to help us in our investigations and control this environment. It is a combination of both some of our local residents here, but we've seen an increase in individuals who don't even reside in Broward County. And so they don't see the long-term impact and repercussions in terms of their behaviors. They stunt through our communities, they drive on sidewalks, they create car accidents, individuals get hurt in the process of their joyriding, and then they get to bail out and leave our community. And so if that's the case, then we have to be much more punitive in this action. And I think I've said that several times to get that point across, and we'll push it up to Tallahassee.
I believe the most, for instance, flipping the tag up, that's $1,165. That's, I believe, one of the most expensive. But reckless driving is a criminal offense, and that's pretty easy to prove based on the stunts that they do, endangering themselves but other motorists. But I believe the most expensive fine is around $1,165. That's them trying to hide the tags from us so that they run. But it's useless to run from us, because with the number of aircraft and other resources we have in the sky, you're not going to get away. So they're pretty keen, like the sheriff said. We constantly are monitoring social media. I think over the years, the groups from out of state have gotten the message. I think we're still getting more local groups, and some of them have gotten a little bigger, a little more organized, so they know what we're doing. But like I've said in years past, you can outrun us in a motorcycle. Eventually you're going to run out of gas. You're going to have to refuel, but you're not going to outrun our aircraft. And that's the bottom line. We will catch you. It depends on the CC level of the bike, the engine, but none of them belong on the road. And they know this. They know exactly what they're doing. So we're going to do our job, and that's why we're all here today. We, the sheriff and our municipal partners, we do this every year. And we're doing it again. We're trying to put the message out. I think we did a good job of getting the message, preventing people from from other counties and even from out of state that have come here in the past. I think that message has gotten out pretty good, because I don't think we're going to see that as much. But there are local groups that we're having problems with, again, with the bikes. And so we're prepared. We're fully prepared. Every one of the troopers in Miami-Dade and Broward are working. Nobody is off. So I can't get into specifics, manpower, but we're going to outnumber the bikes, I can assure you.